Jared Cannonier should beat Michael Venom Page. He has the skills to do it, but he's not going to be able to. That's why I'm picking MVP by decision. I think I said KO, Jared Cannonier by KO before, but now I'm more leaning towards an MVP finish. Here's the thing. I seen the weigh-ins. MVP looked big. He looked well-sized for middleweight. Obviously, Cannonier is going to be heavier. He's going to be thicker. He's going to have the physicality and the strength. But MVP's advantage has never been that. He's never been the guy that's like, oh, I'm going to toss you off me easily. He does do that against the welterweights. But his main property that makes him an excellent fighter is his speed, his timing, and his ability to put a shot right in your face when you're not expecting it. And I feel like with this type of matchup, Cannonier is going to be frozen. What I thought this fight was going to be, when I thought Cannonier was going to win, was I was like, okay, Cannonier, he has a good low kick. He can switch stances. He can feint and, put pressure on MVP without having to commit. And then I watched more Cannonier fights and I realized, oh wait, this Cannonier falls for feints. He's not very good at pressuring because he's not consistent with it. He's not somebody like a Pereira where he's going to walk you down and genuinely put you against the fence. Cannonier, he's looking to do things on the feet, stay at range, play the technical battle, but not really see I'm losing the fight right now because I only am able to win the fight when I put this guy against the fence. When I'm putting this guy against the fence, I need to unload and score points or try to knock him out. And then I was like, oh wait, that's not how you fight. If I had a controller, if I had a PS5 controller, and I can plug it in to Jared Cannonier, put it in through his rectum, and control him like my UFC 5 character, then he will win this fight against MVP easy. He has the tools to do it. He can wrestle. He can time low kicks. But is he going to do that in this matchup? I don't see him being effective enough, or I guess utilizing the correct game plan enough for him to win. If he comes out and he's timing a low kick as MVP comes in and holding him on the ground, if he's pressuring MVP back to the fence and clinching up and looking for shots off the engagement, or just putting damage and points on the board when he's able to, then he'll win this. He's much more experienced. But the thing is, I just think MVP is just so much of a wild card that Cannonier is going to be overthinking this. He's going to be like, I don't know, let me just play it safe, win the outside fight. Boom! MVP's landing a big shot on him. And Cannonier's like, ooh, that stunned me a little bit. Maybe it wobbles Cannonier. Stuff like that, that's going to make him worried. That's going to make him pressure less. And I just feel like he won't be able to implement his game plan well enough for him to win this fight. That's why I'm going for MVP by decision. I can see just like a classic low output performance. Unless Cannonier's cheering a shot, then MVP should be able to get a knockout here. But yeah, man, that's my prediction for this fight. I think I'll throw another one on this video. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. I want to break this down. So, Prates, he's got good body work. His cardio is good. I think I broke this out actually. So we'll just move on. We're gonna move on to Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. I kind of didn't really know what to think about this until I watched some Lerone Murphy fights. I watched this fight against Josh Emmett. I watched this fight against Ige, and goddamn, that Ige fight worried me. And with Aaron Pico, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Aaron Pico. He's good, but he's only either won dominantly or lost terribly. And he's like, if he wins, it's like, okay, yeah, you looked great and you fucking murdered this guy, but he's like a bartender. And when he fights any sort of real competition, he loses. His last fight was in, I think, like 2022 or something. So it's hard to gauge where he's actually at in his career, how good he actually is right now. but I just don't see him winning with a 0 inch leg reach. In all seriousness, this is actually like the perfect, perfect, perfect debut for Aaron Pico. They literally gave him the best matchup possible, and Lerone Murphy is coming in on short notice. I think this is a 3 rounder. I'm not sure if it's. I don't think it's 5 rounds. But like Murphy should win this. He really should. But if Pico blitzes him and lands a combination in the pocket, which is where Murphy is kind of weak, Pico can get him out of here, man. He can get him out of there, man. Pico can wrestle as well, but I don't think his jiu-jitsu is all that. I think Lerone Murphy will expect that. He's coming off of a win in a matchup where it's kind of a similar matchup to Aaron Pico. His last two opponents were Aaron Pico type fighters. You know, wrestlers with a big power and good. That their striking is mainly based on their powerful punches. So like I think the right pick is Murphy here. But I see why people are saying like Pico could win and Pico is a favorite for some reason, which doesn't make sense because he's like Bellator like fucking B tier fighter. Like he hasn't fought anybody. Murphy should be high at level enough where his weakness in the pocket could be nullified just by Murphy not letting him go there. Just keep Aaron Pico at range, chop him down with their kicks, leg kicks, jab, feint, circle, the usual. I can see him doing that in this matchup. That's why I think this fight will end with a Lerone Murphy decision. You guys have all seen it. If you've seen a Lerone Murphy fight, you've seen all of them. And I know there's been worrying moments for Lerone Murphy before, but he's looked better in his last 3, and he's fought the best opponents since. Pico's dangerous in the pocket, but it's also his debut. Who knows? Who knows what happens? But this is totally a Michael Chandler situation. This fight, I really don't think Pico should be a favorite. I don't think people should be having that much faith in somebody who has like not proven himself. But this is totally a Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler situation where Pico can just come out and blitz Murphy and get him out of there. It's totally possible. But if Murphy's ready, he should be able to impose his game, do his thing, nullify Pico, slow everything down, and win the classic Lerone Murphy decision. Yeah, man. This is my pick. This is my pick, Lerone Murphy. He's in my parlay as well. This is my parlay. I got Jessica Andrade money line because I think there's a good chance she wins. I think that's also a 50-50 matchup. Lerone Murphy money line because I think it should be an evens matchup. And I got Dricus because I believe in Dricus's just everything. Endurance, cardio, his ability on the feet. And I might as well break this down in depth. Here's the thing. Chimaev weighed in at 183 pounds. I don't know why he did that. Why would he do that? But here's the thing. Everybody's saying Chimaev has no cardio. I think you're dumb if you're coming into this thinking Chimaev hasn't improved his cardio. He's working with Sam Calavito. If that's his name? TJ Dillashaw's conditioning coach. Maybe he's taking some special supplements as well. But if he's coming in this fight with his usual cardio, then he is dumb. Chimaev isn't dumb. He's an elite fighter. He's an elite competitor. He's going to come in with improved cardio. I can see him doing well in the first 3 rounds. I can see that. But I think Dricus is going to come with the right game plan. I just watched this one short of fucking Dricus pulling guard on somebody. And I can tell that's something that's viable against Chimaev. If Chimaev shoots, pull guard. Try to land on his leg and injure him. Fuck it. There's no harm, and Chimaev doesn't like to operate in people's guards. He likes to get the side control, get to mount. He likes to get on people's backs. He doesn't like to try to work in the guard and land ground and pound. He's not Arman Tsarukyan, okay? He's Chimaev, and the way he wrestles, you kind of can't try to defend because if you defend, it's gonna let him easily get over it. You kind of have to meet him in the middle where you like, okay, he's gonna take me down. And then what? Is he gonna land in my guard? Is he gonna land on my half guard? That's where Dricus is coming in. He said this. He said that he understands that he can't try to negate Chimaev's wrestling because it's not possible. You can't try to defend Chimaev's wrestling in the first round. You're just not gonna be able to do it. Nobody has ever done it. Maybe you need to bring down fucking Jesus Christ for Chimaev to wrestle against, for him to not be able to take down. But Dricus is coming in with the right game plan. If everything holds up with Dricus, like, I don't think Chimaev is fucking breaking Plessis' his mouth. He's not breaking his jaw. I can see Hamza having Dricus in a lot of trouble in a fight where, maybe he gets on the back, but Dricus is able to survive. Maybe in a fight where Dricus isn't able to take him down, and in the first 2 rounds, they're just striking. If it's like the Burns fight, I see Chimaev winning the striking in the first 2 rounds, man. I can totally see that because Chimaev is going to have the takedown threat to negate du Plessis' kicking. Du Plessis' striking relies heavily on his kicks. And you're going up against a heavy wrestler, that's not a good idea. I don't think Dracus should be coming in with a kick-heavy game plan because in the first 2 rounds, that's going to get him in trouble. In the later rounds, I can see him whipping up a head kick on Chimaev. As Chimaev, as he enters in a combination and Chimaev is pulling out, du Plessis just leans and throws that snappy question mark kick to the head. Not even a question mark, it's just a snappy head kick. He can land that on Chimaev. All I'm saying is people are underestimating Chimaev's cardio. He's gonna get better cardio. His striking is very good. He's got thud on his punches, man. His boxing and striking in general is the type of striking that gets Dricus in trouble. Dricus doesn't, get hurt by, like the Adesanya type strikings where it's straight punches. It's the hooks. It's the big, meaty punches, powerful punches, hooks and stuff that gets him in trouble. Think about all the way to the Trevin Giles fight. Think about Darren Till. These type of guys were able to land effectively on Dricus and stun him. Hamza should be able to do the same here. But I have so much respect for Dricus' will to win, his toughness, his game planning, and just his skill set as a mixed martial artist. I'm going to pick Dricus by... I'm going to pick late rounds, 4 or 5 round finish. I can see him just wearing on Hamza, having that type of game plan where he's like, you know what? I'm not going to beat you in these rounds. I'm going to just try to gas you out. And in the later rounds, maybe he gets a ground and pound finish where Chimaev is just, he's too tired to be able to defend TKO, or like a submission where he shoots on Dricus. It's like an arm triangle, some shit like that. But that's my in-depth breakdown for the fights I did not do. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on X at FugaziMMA. Like the video. And yeah, man, I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.